I'm really still questioning why I gave you close counter. Well, I mean, it's still better than giving it to that old man, I guess. Oh well, guess we'll worry about that later. Hey nerds! So, I'm on Priscilla here, and I'm actually looking over a few things because a lot of people have been asking me what I thought about the staff bonuses and the new updates that are coming for them when it comes to stave users. And, well, I don't know what's up with some people, but like some of them are like, this isn't gonna help them. Well, I mean, it sure as hell isn't gonna, help them to keep them the way they are. Just so we're clear, I don't think this is going to fix any of the colorless hell that's coming out, but it is a step in the right direction for many reasons, and hopefully we're going to see a little bit more action out of stave users like Priscilla here, and a lot more. But I figured I would talk about a few things real quick. So right now, when it comes to any sort of stave unit, well, stave unit, stave user, I wanted to say both at the same time, but when it comes to any of them, typically people would like to use rehabilitate. Just how it goes. It's always how it works. That's always how it's going to be. Rehabilitate's the kind of thing that everyone usually uses for things like Tempest Trials, Chain Challenges, what have you. It's just a really good spell. Heals for quite a bit, especially if your unit is really low and really needs that full heal. It's something that's great. But when we get to the new plus skills and things like that, I really can't say too much, but based on how physics plus variation is working, it may have a run for its money because, well, 50% of the HP, full HP, that's pretty good. That's some really nice stuff. At a range of 2, that may even best rehabilitate in some ways. So, yes, I think that would be cool, but we do have to talk about a few other things since we can. So, yeah, the other problem that's kind of come up with healers is, well, you know what, they use Sakura as an example in the Fae channel update, so might as well just use her as an example. Generally, when it came to actually using any sort of these, skills here, these weapons, granted, Assault is mainly supposed to be for pure damage, but even then, at 10 might, it's not really doing, any staff unit a real favor, unless, of course, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but when it came to things like Fear, it was even exponentially worse, because, well, you barely did any damage, especially with how staff units work right now, without, Wrathful Staff. And, of course, the damage and whatever decrease, in this case, this is attack, well, it wasn't really that valuable at some ranks. It just, typically, you would probably want to use something like, a Ploy or a Threaten. And, well, that's kind of the same problem that Dagger users have when it comes to a lot of these abilities. But we now know that Fear Plus is coming, and there are some added benefits to that. First off, of course, is that Might of 5, right there, is going to grow a bit. At least from what we can tell for Fear Plus, it's going to grow exponentially to 12 Might, which is above Assault, and basically means that Assault will be remembered as that one ability that no one uses, at least, well, when it comes to staff units. Kind of sad, actually. But, with Fear Plus, there's an additional benefit of having a smoke-like effect, where when you use it, it's going to debuff not only the unit you hit, but also the units around that unit, which could be a variety more useful when it comes to just normal Fear. But the one thing that really matters there, I feel, is also the Might for a lot of people, because, well, just to give you an example, let's take a look at, say, yeah, there we go. I mean, I have a few of her IVs aren't that great, at least, but, you know what, we'll see. When it comes to certain abilities, like, say, Gravity here, well, let's just say, I can't really speculate because Gravity's Might is a little bit better than Fear, but let's just say that Gravity Plus, if it, I actually don't remember if it was on the list, but let's just say that Gravity Plus exists and it has 12 Might as well. What exactly does that mean for this unit? Well, let's just say, for Jenny, she is probably the highest attacking staff unit in the game. And to give you an example, let's say you have a boon in attack for Jenny here. Well, she already has Wrathful Staff built into her kit. That's one benefit from her, of course, which means that she doesn't have to worry about getting half damage at all. And add in the natural boon that she has in attack, plus the 12 might from her staff, if she were to have that. That means she gets a natural 50 attack without any buffs, without any seals, without any passives. That is actually something that's going to be very fascinating to see as time goes on, because not only is that going to mean that she's going to hit extremely hard, she hits hard enough when it comes to actually being a nuisance on the battlefield at times. I'm sure some of you may have run into her in Tempest Trials at times, and have been kind of surprised by her damage. Usually, I mean, it doesn't kill me, but it does surprise me and take me aback a bit when it's like, oh, hey, there's a staff unit, and then, bam, she just comes in and wipes the floor with you a little bit. You know, you're kind of surprised a bit, but, you know, that's the basic gist of Jenny. That means that she's going to be able to push that even further now with, you know, of course, an attack plus slot, and then, of course, maybe even putting an attack plus seal in there. So, and then that's not including buffs as well, so she could easily push the 60s with these new staff buffs, which means that we might actually have a unit that uses a staff that is actually quite terrifying. That doesn't change too much, but it does give you a bit of an idea of what's going to be happening. Along with, of course, the buffs. And we might even, I mean, I know Absorb was on the list, and Absorb is one staff that people sometimes use, at least when it comes to some attacking staff units. That's actually going to be getting a buff as well. I can't say what it's going to be, but it is going to be getting a benefit. So we may actually start to see a lot more staff units like Jenny become a bit more attack-oriented, and something that might be pretty fascinating to see when it comes to the update on the 27th. So, yes, do I think healers will become a bit more in the meta? Yeah, most likely. At least when it comes to supporting the team. I don't know how well, but it definitely is a step up above from where they were before. They might be more valuable in the whole spectrum of the colorless, but colorless hell will probably still kind of exist. It's kind of something that isn't easy to avoid, and something that isn't going to be just fixed with one patch, I think. That's mostly because we still have to worry about some other units, and, you know, I guess I could just say real quick that while, you know, staff units are getting the love this time around, we still do have to take a look at, of course, dagger units, because dagger units are still kind of getting the short end of the stick here. I mean, just to give you an example, if, you know, Fear Plus, you know, retains that 12 might, which it will, obviously, that gives you a solid advantage over even, say, our good friend, Jafar here. 11 might on his daggers there. 11. Granted, a lot of these daggers could probably get a big buff from Weapon Refinery. It's yet to be seen. But it's a very interesting thing. I know people were just like wondering what exactly is going to happen with staff units. Oh my god. Well, this is a step in the right direction, I feel, and I'm actually really excited that I've decided I'm going to really start working on my Elise as well, get her going, and have something fun and interesting to work with, because again, much like Jenny, Elise can really benefit from these buffs just by pure might alone. And then, of course, you add in the restorative factors that will be coming from the improved, you know, command skills that are coming. So, yes, healers will be potentially a big part of meta now. Well, not so much you. Or you. Especially not you. But some of them will. A hell of a lot more than this guy. Or, this guy. Poor bastards. Or any of the other throwing units out there. Good lord. Granted, Sakura and Kagero kind of have their own niche that they can really get in the groove with. Shame that, I mean, Sakura can really just destroy things, but, you know, that's just what I'm going to say real quick. I figured I would address that because I kept getting questions about it, and people really wanted to talk to me about the staff update. I'm really excited for it. Really am. I'm going to be doing some tests on that. I'm going to be running a lot. I'm going to be getting Elise and Jenny up in the next few days to get them ready for that, to see how that goes. And then we'll be able to get a better approximation of things. But Is this going to be a big boon for healers? Oh, hell yeah. You can quote me on that. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, nerds. Catch you later. Thanks for watching this Talking Points. If you enjoyed it, feel free to check out any of the videos on the screen, or maybe subscribe to the channel, or maybe just give up on life. These all feel like good options. God, that giving up on life sounds really great right now. I'm ready. I'm ready!